In a previous episode, we saw how Amazon Prime actually loses money for Amazon, but still pays for itself in the long run. Today, we're going to take a look at the company Amazon.com, its philosophy, how it had been making a loss for many years. It was always portrayed in the Wall Street as a growth company. Now it is a profit-making machine. How did that transformation come about? What was Jeff Bezos' doctrine? And a very fascinating study, because many people used to wonder, how is it that Amazon can turn a loss quarter after quarter, quarter after quarter, yet its stock kept going up? When is the shareholder going to be compensated? And looks like that time has come now. Amazon is turning profits. However, it is not clear if it's going to declare a dividend or not, because only when you have dividend will you get amount of money payout that comes from the companies every quarter. For example, of the Max 7, the only two that I know of who are paying dividends are Apple and Alphabet, which is Google's parent company. Others are not paying dividends, which means they still feel that you should be buying their stock just because of its growth prospects. I mean, whether you buy it or not, I just wanted to put that thing out there. Will Amazon also start paying a dividend? We'll wait and see. As always, I have an infographic to share with you that tells you how this transformation came about, what exactly is the Bezos doctrine, and so on and so forth. And a small request, as always, again, to please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe to our channel. So, what is going on? Amazon, from a growth engine to a profit machine. The perception of Amazon as a loss-making giant is outdated. The company is now highly profitable, driven by a strategic shift to high margin services. This is not easy to do, by the way. If you look at the trailing 12 months ending in June 2025, Amazon earned $70.6 billion. For the calendar year of 2024, its net income was $59.2 billion, and the operating income in the calendar year of 2024 was $68.6 billion. Now, on top of all this, add the 28,000 odd people that they have laid off. Who knows, it might have an even better year in 2025. Why do we care about the people who have lost their jobs after working 16-hour work days in Amazon? Amazon is a brutal place to work with. That's what I've heard. People who work there get burnt out also. Again, I'm just quoting anecdotal evidence here. I don't have any proof. Nobody has given to me in writing that this is what happens in Amazon. So don't kill me for that. This is just a public perception. Now let's take a look at the engine of profitability. What happened was, initially Amazon started out selling what? Books on the e-commerce. That's how it started. Then they started diversifying from books to other things. They started selling just about everything. The only things that they don't sell are houses, cars, planes, trains, etc. But everything else, toothpaste to toothbrush to comb to whatever, you can buy it via e-commerce in Amazon. And like I said in the previous episode about Amazon Prime, they are losing money there. Therefore, the e-commerce alone is not cutting it for them. If you take a look at the estimated profit margin as a percentage, e-commerce gets them typically 3%. And that is the amount of money you get from running a grocery store, 3%. That's all grocery stores make. Now, if you take a look at the other things that it has done, that is Amazon Web Services, advertising, and third-party services, the typical profit margin is a healthy 28%. That's where they are making their money. And I'll tell you a little bit about my travails with Amazon for stocking my books there and why I decided to start doing it on my own at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'll come to that in just a minute. Let's just listen to the entire story of Amazon's success, especially the Bezos doctrine. For decades, Amazon relentlessly reinvested all revenues, focusing on scale over profit. This Bezos doctrine built an unmatchable foundation that the company is now monetizing. This is not to say there isn't stiff competition. Competition is coming. However, it might be kind of getting blindsided because the competition is not coming from Walmart.com or one of those big companies which already have a brick and mortar store. It is coming from somewhere else. I'll come to that also in just a second. So two things I need to tell you: my personal experiences and the competition for Amazon. So let's take a look at the Bezos doctrine. Relentless reinvestment, funnel profits back into the business, build scale and moats. Moats are things that are difficult to cross for the competition, and so one of the things that they did was the infrastructure, Amazon Web Services, fulfillment and lock-in by way of Prime membership. Now the Amazon Web Services has been replicated now. Google has Google Cloud. I think Oracle has something similar, and I believe there are some other companies also who are doing this, but nobody has been able to keep up with Amazon Web Services. They seem to be on a trajectory of their own. So this is one of their key money makers. Next, market dominance. You have unbeatable logistics and a cloud platform. On this, Amazon has won hands down. When I use the Amazon backend, this is something called a seller central, where you can go in and take a look at who bought it, what area, what kind of taste that person has, and so on and so forth. They give you a lot of data. Then the final thing is massive profitability, monetize high margin services. So this is how Amazon is now making money, and we are also going to take a look at the 3 pillars of profit. Before we do that, let me tell you about what my experience has been. Amazon Kindle system. The Kindle system, they say that the Kindle reader is available for many platforms. However, somewhere along the line, the Kindle code has been broken. Their digital cryptography has been broken, because what I started seeing about 2-3 years ago was my own books being made available for free as an EPUB file by many sites, and they would in turn advertise these on Amazon itself, and Amazon was turning a blind eye, even though I complained saying that, look, I own the copyright for this book and I have not given rights to this company to sell it. And they didn't care, and they didn't even acknowledge that Kindle could have a hole through which their digital rights management was being exploited. So what did I do? I said, okay, fine, these people are not listening and I'm losing money on my books. I'm going to start doing my own ebook reader. That's how 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 came about. By the way, do go to App Store if you are on iPhone, or Google Play if you are on Android, and download the latest version. And if you have a really old version, you might want to start out by removing and deleting the old app and starting over again. If you remember your Gmail or security login, you'll be able to get back all the books. There should not be any issues. And that way you will get to see the best features that are now made available in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And we have done a lot of enhancements on the reader. So ebook, I'm no longer using Amazon to sell it. I'm selling it on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 for this reason, that they were not being able to close the loopholes in their DRM. Next, about other things, like for example, selling books. Now what they ask you to do is to have your own small space in Amazon's warehouse, and you have to pay rent for that. And on top of that, you have your own warehouse where again you are stocking books, and again you are paying a lot of rent for that. So you have double whammy here. You are getting socked for having to pay at the warehouse as well as within your own godown. And if you didn't choose Amazon's warehouse, then the marketing of your product came down drastically. This is something that they would never acknowledge on paper, but those of us who know were told that if you don't do this thing, it will not show up in the top 10 and so on and so forth. And Amazon does a heck of a marketing job. Anybody buying anything, the last thing they'll say is, would you like to buy this book too? And many people do buy it. So the paperback, we are still continuing to sell on Amazon, although we wanted to not do it, but I think we are going to continue doing that. I just wanted to tell you my personal experience. Your experience might be better, and the way they rank the book sales is a joke, in my opinion, okay? Because there is an author who's forever at number 1, and this is somebody that no one has heard of in India. In fact, not many have heard of even in the West, and yet this person keeps coming at number 1. And we used to see that there was one company, if that company sold the products, automatically those products were listing at the very top. This observation I made, I'm not going to take names here. Those of you who know who I am talking about, feel free to put by way of comments who I am referring to. That company has since disengaged itself from Amazon, I heard, but that's okay. So So book ranking, don't go by that, go by the author's name, and that gives you an idea of the caliber of work that you can expect. This is my experience as far as Amazon is concerned. Now let's take a look at how Amazon is making money, the 3 pillars of profit. First one is Amazon Web Services, the single most important factor, and I told you about this, which is they not only host their products, but they also give you hosting services. So any company can host their complete web-based operations on Amazon, and it's called as AWS. They also pioneered something called as elastic computing, EC, and this gives you a way to automatically have more instances of your website, so that whenever you are expecting to have a huge crowd, you can turn that thing on and you only pay for it when there is crowd. Once the crowd dwindles, then you can cut back on the EC. They give you these kinds of features that are very, very good. Next, advertising services. This is what I was telling you, right? They have a very accomplished product search engine, and when you, like I said, follow their rules and keep your book in their warehouse, then you get the benefit of their advertising services. And I've seen emails flood you with all the stuff that you can do, and especially they keep track of the fact that you may have bought one of my previous books, and ergo when a new book comes in, that gets referred saying that you have already got these books of the author, would you like to buy this new one? I mean, there is a feeling like, okay, feel good, okay, I've already got 3 books, let me get the 4th book also. So they do a tremendous job on marketing and advertising services. Third, they have also now started offering third-party seller services. This is where they make some of the highest profits, because all they are doing is providing the platform as a marketplace. Remember I told you Seller Central? That's how I got on Amazon. Like I said, I have a few complaints. At the same time, they did do a very good job of promoting some of my early books. They've done a fantastic job. I got noticed for that and got the recognition. Now, of course, I'm a little bit mellowed. At the same time, I might go back to selling paperbacks and hardbound on Amazon. After all, they do a better job of advertising than I do. Now, in summary, the bet has paid off for them by focusing on scale and building dominant high-margin service businesses. Amazon has transformed itself from a low-profit retailer into one of the world's most profitable companies. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the real competition that is coming to Amazon. I mentioned this in one of my hangouts on the 𝗏𝗏 site, but I'm going to mention it again in a little bit more detail. What I noticed was I have started putting content on Twitter, and I wanted to find out what is it that makes Twitter click, and also Reels, that is Instagram, how is that clicking so much? And I had a lot of things I noticed there. Instagram, I don't think has yet started advertising your product, but on TikTok, you can advertise it, and it comes beautifully presented. While you're watching a video, it will come very nicely. You click on that, in 1 or 2 clicks, you can buy the product. And everything is so seamless and smooth, especially if you have Apple Pay connected to your phone. It just is a breeze. Before I blinked, I ended up buying 4 or 5 things that I have no need for. I'm going to have to return them. Some of them don't work as advertised to, but that experience was mind-blowing. I'm seeing now that YouTube has also started doing the same thing, that you can start buying product. When YouTube is playing a video, a small icon shows up of the products of the channel which is promoting on YouTube. So your products, if you're promoting using YouTube, those things will get displayed. Well, PGurus is always different. We always take the road less traveled. We're going to come up with the same feature in PGurus.com. So when you are reading an article in PGurus.com or watching a video, you will be able to see products that you can buy off PGurus right there. I might also start advertising on YouTube. I haven't decided yet, because again, that means another logistical rigmarole that I need to go through. We might do that because we have products now which have a very compelling USP, and we might end up doing that. So this is Amazon's competition. That's why I'm saying this. Their higher margin products are getting competition from the Oracles and the Googles of the world, while their retail itself, the bread and butter, is getting competition from media companies. Whether other companies are going to learn and do it, only time will say. Certainly there is a company called AliExpress that is doing a lot of this selling And I don't know where they're based out of, but I get a lot of requests for new products, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So they are getting some stiff competition in the e-commerce area, but that's what gave them the launchpad to go and do things like Amazon Web Services and so on and so forth. Amazon Prime is always second to Netflix. Netflix seems to do a better job of providing you very good content. I do watch Amazon Prime once in a while if I like a particular actor or a series or a director or something like that. But beyond that, Amazon Prime is more for making it easy for you to buy products on their platform rather than just movies. They do have a good book library. You can buy a lot of those things. I think for a certain fees, there may be even free book available. You can just get the book free, read it, and I think that requires some membership of some sort. So overall, Amazon is doing well, but they have stiff competition ahead. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.